Assalamu alaikum. I request all brothers and sisters to please remain seated until everyone has completed their prayers. Our volunteers will come to your table and direct you to the buffets that are set up in each hall. Jazakallah. Assalamu alaikum. I believe we have 3 buffets set up in this hall on the men's side, and similarly on the ladies' side as well. And for each buffet, please utilize both sides of the buffet so we can try to do this as fast as possible. From the head table, from my left corner there, I request the front 2 tables to please head over to the buffet. And the 2 tables at the far back, please help yourself with the buffet at the back. I request this table number 5 as well, please, to proceed to the buffet. Table number 6, I can't see from here, please. I humbly request our brothers and sisters that once you have taken your food, please come back to the seat that you were sitting on before. Jazakallah. we're going to start the program around 8:45. I'll try to start at 5 minutes early, depending on how. We had that. खाने के बाद होगा. Yeah. Because there's no point of starting the program. I request this table on my left here in the front. You're welcome to proceed to one of the buffets as well. And once the line goes down a little bit, I request the tables at the back to please proceed to one of the buffets as well. We are extremely thankful to our brothers and sisters for moving this line faster. We have a very limited time between the Maghrib and the Isha prayers. So Jazakumullah for helping us out. Assalamualaikum. There are a couple of tables in the center that haven't gotten up, so please help yourself as well. You can navigate and see which buffet has the shortest line. I humbly request my brothers and sisters, if you could please just speed up the process just a little bit and try to get your food as soon as possible. We would like to start the program in about 10 minutes. 5 say, 9.
There's like no free seats though on the tables.
Okay, we're going to start the program. Perfect. Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you. Assalamu alaikum. We're about to start the program in the next 2 minutes. I request everyone to please take your seats. I request all the brothers that are standing at the back, please kindly find a seat. We're about to start the program. All the brothers that are standing at the back, I think we have some few seats empty at the certain tables, so please help yourself with a seat. Similarly, I request our sisters to please take a seat as well. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajeem. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. My dear brothers and sisters, Assalamu alaikum. Peace be upon you all. On behalf of Humanity First Canada, it is my pleasure to welcome you to this very special iftar fundraising dinner. We would like to start our program with the recitation of the Holy Quran. I request Basil Raza Bhatt Sahib to the stage.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. May the peace, mercy, and blessings of God be upon you all. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن ومثل الذين ينفقون أموالهم ابتغاء مرضات الله وتثبيتا من أنفسهم كمثل جنة بربوة أصابها وابل فآتت أكلها ضعفين فإن لم يصبها وابل فطل والله بما تعملون بصير. The English rendering of the verse that has been presented in front of you was selected from Surah Al-Baqarah, that is the second chapter of the Holy Quran, verse 266. In the name of Allah, the most gracious, the ever merciful, and the case of those who spend their wealth to seek the pleasure of Allah and to strengthen their souls is like the case of a garden on an elevated ground. Heavy rain falls on it, and so it brings forth its fruit twofold. And if heavy rain does not fall on it, then light rain suffices, and Allah sees what you do. अब इस आयत का उर्दू तर्जुमा जो आपके सामने पेश की गई थी, जो सूरह अल-बकरा आयत 266 है, पेश खिदमत है। अल्लाह के नाम के साथ जो बेइंतहा रहम करने वाला, बिन मांगे देने वाला और बार बार रहम करने वाला है। और उन लोगों की मिसाल जो अपना माल इस सबब के लिए ख़र्च करते हैं कि उससे वो अपने खुदा यानी अल्लाह की रज़ा को पाएँ और अपने ही नफूस यानी रूहों को मज़बूत करें, ऐसे बाग की मिसाल की तरह है जो ऊंचे मुकाम पर हो और उसे भारी बारिश मिले और वो अपने फलों को दुगना पैदा करे। लेकिन अगर भारी बारिश उसको मुयस्सर ना हो तो शबनम ही काफ़ी हो, और अल्लाह वो जो तुम करते हो उसको खूब देखने वाला है। जज़ाकुमुल्लाह, थैंक यू वेरी मच।
Jazakallah Basil Sahib. I have one simple and humble request to all my brothers and sisters. Can I have your attention, please? My sisters, my brothers, please give me your attention. I humbly request you and I beg you to give us next 20 minutes. Please continue eating, but please give us attention to this program in the front stage. You'll be learning a lot of things about Humanity First, and you'll be hearing from our guests this evening as well. So please continue enjoying the dinner, but at the same time, I humbly request you to quietly pay attention to this program. Volunteers have spent lots of hours putting this program together this evening for you. I am very thankful to every single person in this hall who has come forward and supported Humanity First this evening. Thank you to our guests for taking time out of your busy schedules, especially on this Easter long weekend. We appreciate your presence and your support. By the grace of Allah, this is our main event in the series of many iftar fundraising dinners that we're holding throughout Canada this year. Yesterday, we held a very successful iftar fundraising dinner in Mississauga, in Calgary. Last week in Northern Ontario. Tomorrow, we're holding another event in Brampton, Patrick Brown's city, Durham, and Montreal. The month of Ramadan is also known as the month of charity. It gives us an opportunity to get closer to our Creator by prayers, by helping others, the less fortunate. We have gathered this evening for iftar dinner. However, it is not about the delicious dinner you just had. It is more about the outcome from this dinner. It is the result of this dinner that will make a difference this evening. Every iftar this evening will help feed a hungry or help someone in need. This year, we are raising funds for the relief efforts for the Ukrainian refugees and our food bank. Due to the very limited time we have this evening, as we have to end this program by 9:20, as the Isha prayers are at 9:30, the program will be very short. First, I would like to invite our respected Lal Khan Malik Sahib, who is the President and Emir of National Ahmadiyya Muslim Jama'at Canada. Respected Emir Sahib has been very supportive of Humanity First. Not only he donates towards Humanity First, he's always in the front to support us in any project that Humanity First does. Emir Sahib.
Respected friends of the community, respected members of the Jama'at, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Peace and blessings of Allah be upon you all. Thank you all for attending this special event for Humanity First this evening. We have assembled here for a very noble purpose. There are millions of people suffering around the world because of hunger, because of war, and we have an opportunity of helping them. If we do not have the means of organizations like Humanity First, we would not be able to help them individually. But Humanity First provides us this opportunity that we come to the aid of millions of people who are suffering. Charity is the central theme of all religions, and Islam has emphasized it. I mention only one event in the life of the Holy Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings of Allah be upon him. When he moved from Mecca to Medina, his first public address, he made 4 points. The first point was that you should give the greeting of peace to everyone you meet, whether you know him or not. And the second one was to feed the poor, to help the needy. So you can understand the importance of charity in Islam. Charity is excellent virtue any time of the year, but during Ramadan, it has double the reward. The Holy Prophet, peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, was the most generous of people. But during Ramadan, his charity work would become like a swift wind. We have to follow his model. We should count our blessings. We are in the best country in the world. Canada is a free country, envy of many nations around the world. And one way of thanking, of being in the best country in the world, the prosperous country in the world, having all the amenities of life at our disposal, is that we help those who are in need. So please donate generously for this noble cause. And this is an excellent opportunity provided to us during this sacred month. Thank you very much.
Jazakumullah, Amir Sahib. Our next presentation for this evening, the presenter needs no introduction. He will be presenting in a very short period of time a glimpse of what Humanity First is doing here in Canada and around the globe. I'd like to request Dr. Aslam Daud Sahib, who is the chairman for Humanity First Canada, and he has been serving Humanity First Canada since its inception here in Canada. Dr. Aslam Daud Sahib.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Peace be upon you. My dear respected guest, respected Amir Sahab, Minister Hussain, Francesco, Anna, Patrick, Honorable, His Worship Patrick Brown, and all other guests, thank you so much for coming here. It is an honor to have you here. Although we call it a dinner, and you get a chance to eat food, but it is really about putting food on the people's table who are unable to do it on their own. Humanity First is doing a lot of activities, and many of you are already familiar with that. I'm going to just quickly give you an update of some of the recent things that is happening. Those who can see slides on the TV, they can see that. But basically, what I'm trying to say here today is that Ramadan has a special link with charity. And by holding this iftar dinner, we are giving an opportunity to every one of you to participate in this noble cause of helping someone in need. A very easy and convenient way where we're trying to do your work, and all you have to do is, with the click of a button or just putting your hands in the pocket, you are helping the most needy people. Many people say, so what? There are so many other organizations that do that. Why Humanity First? The reason why it is Humanity First is that it is one of the unique organizations in the world, and I say that with pride and passion, that has got the lowest administrative cost because of volunteer work. I am a volunteer. Everybody who is part of Humanity First is a volunteer. We have a network in more than 60 countries around the world. We can mobilize volunteers within an hour anywhere there's a need. We are partnered with WHO, World Health Organization, United Nations organizations like UNHCR and OCHA and others. And we have access to provide help there. And Humanity First is actually a platform where you, individually or as a group or as an auxiliary organization or any organization, use this platform to do charitable work of your passion. We provide you the tools and means to do that in an organized way. It's your own organization. I'm going to quote from an address of His Holiness Hazrat Mirza Masroor Ahmad. He said that in October 2021, that Humanity First has attained a good name whereby many external organizations recognize that Humanity First is achieving much more from a smaller budget in comparison to much bigger charities or NGOs due to volunteer force and the spirit with which its members serve. And he further said that certainly I am pleased that volunteers of Humanity First throughout the world are serving with great zeal and determination and a true spirit of service and devotion. The passion of its volunteers has enabled Humanity First to live up to its name and to become a well-established and renowned charity and disaster relief agency. So this is the wordings of His Holiness about Humanity First. We have only one vision: to relieve the human suffering and strengthen communities. We are actively working in 60 countries, but out of that, 25 countries are being looked after by Humanity First Canada. So the projects over there are managed by HF Canada team members. There are 9 core programs. You are all familiar with these banners and the programs that are listed there, whether it's disaster relief or clean water or school or hospital. We have something for everyone who has any passion to help people in need. Whether you want to provide clean water, whether you want to provide schooling, education, orphan care, build hospitals, we have an opportunity for you. Just to give you a highlight on international platform, Humanity First had the opportunity to make presentation in Geneva at the United Nations in 2019 in front of 150 countries. And we are also in the world stage as a WHO partner. So whenever there is a need of an emergency medical team, they would reach out to us and we will send a team. We have built a hospital in Senegal that is fully operational. We're building another one in Ivory Coast that will be operational in 2 years. And we are one of the large organizations that sponsors refugees from around the world. Our food bank has been serving thousands of families every month on a regular basis. We have internship program for people from 45 to 50 students or newcomers get trained in our food bank and other program activities, and they get jobs. We are providing services to senior citizens with tax filing and other community care programs. I'm going to skip the numbers here that you see that the Water for Life program helped over 120,000 people, or in disaster relief, we helped 42,000 people. I'm just going to come to you to tell you that when the need arises during the COVID, Humanity First was the only organization from Canada that went to Honduras at the call of WHO and Ministry of Health Honduras to send a medical team, EMT team. We were there for 2 weeks, which means people had to quarantine for 2 weeks, serve there, take all the risks, and do not back off from the humanitarian work. So we were the only organization that did that. Recently, earlier this year, WHO again called that there is a cyclone in Madagascar, and not many organizations responded. We were again the only organization from Canada and only probably one of the 4 organizations that actually went to Madagascar to provide help. And more recently, you are all familiar with the Russia-Ukraine crisis. When that crisis started, within days, our team in the last week of February was on the ground in Polish-Ukraine border, helping people who were crossing the border. There was a lineup of 15 to 20 kilometers of people on the foot, mostly elderly women and children and other senior citizens in cold, and they needed help. And again, there were only a handful of organizations. The lead one was Humanity First. We are still continuing to provide help. A team of doctors and other aid workers are on the ground. We are providing medical and other emergency services. Every day, we are providing food to at least 300 people, which is being cooked by their volunteers and being served over there. It's a very remote village over there. You can see, up till now, we have treated about 1,200 patients in our medical camps. 32,000 meals have been served. 20,000 hygiene kits have been given out. 27,000 warm tea and coffee served to people who are just transiting for a short while. And 800 mobile SIM cards were given out to these refugees from Ukraine. And in terms of refugee resettlement, Minister Hussain is here, who's former Minister of Immigration. He knows that we have been in forefront of sponsoring and resettling refugees. In 2019, before the pandemic, we resettled over 1,000 refugees in 1 year. We have resettled thousands in many, many years, but in just 1 year, we resettled thousands. Due to pandemic, the number has gone down, and we are hoping that it will pick up in 2022. In addition to that, not many people know that there are thousands of Ahmadi refugees stuck in Thailand and Malaysia. While we cannot help every one of them to come to Canada, it's impossible because the government has quota restrictions, and I am hoping that their federal guests here will do something to help us to be able to help more people, help with the quota and everything. But while we are not able to help every one of them, we are on the ground helping every single family who is in need with food, rentals, emergency medicines, any other service they need. We are running 4 schools for refugees in Malaysia. This is a special school for refugee children where their children are getting free of charge education. And in terms of other programs like Global Health, Gift of Sight, hundreds and thousands of people are benefiting every year from our programs. I want to highlight that during the COVID, we were able to provide 12 million meals to people in need. Over 1 million beneficiaries received some type of assistance from us. The worth of the volunteer work was about $11 million. If you pay someone to do that work, it would have cost us $11 million, but that was done all 100% on volunteer basis. During the last 26 years, we have helped more than 2.5 million people in disaster relief, and 4.5 million people have received water from us. 40,000 people have regained eyesight, and about 300,000 students have benefited from our educational programs. The numbers speak themselves, but the big quality of this organization is that we are always the first to respond, and that is only possible with your generous contributions and donations. We have a motto that no one will sleep hungry if they contact humanity first. No help will be denied if it is in our capacity to help. And this is why people around the world, people in Canada are receiving support and help with your generous donation. Today's event is only one of those events that enable us to help people in need. So I thank you very much, and I request you for your continued support. Thank you very much.
Assalamu alaikum. Darsab, Jazakallah for this very short summary of what Humanity First is doing. You have basically just scratched the surface of what Humanity First is doing around the world. I like to humbly request, Assalamu alaikum, can I have your attention, please? Assalamu alaikum. Everyone at the back, please raise your hands for a second. Perfect, you can hear me, good. I was testing the sound system here. Please give us another 10 minutes. We have special guests here. As a respect, I humbly request you and our sisters to please pay attention to the program. It's a very short program. You will learn something new today. Jazakallah. Similarly, I request my sisters to please give us a few more minutes. Our next speaker for this evening has been involved in all levels of government and has been known to our Jama'at for over 15 years. He was a member of the Parliamentary Friendship Association of Ahmadiyya Muslim Jama'at when he was in Ottawa. He has visited our leadership when he was in Pakistan, and most recently approved the naming of a park in Brampton as Ahmadiyya Park. He is currently seeking to become the leader of the Federal Conservatives. Please help me welcome His Worship Patrick Brown.
Thank you so much. Well, thank you so much for the honor to be with you tonight. Always privileged to be in the presence of Lal Khan Malik, a great leader in our country, and to Dr. Aslam Dodd. What a beautiful fundraiser this is, what a beautiful iftar. Anytime I hear about Humanity First, I am impressed by the scope and the reach of the generosity of Humanity First. It really is beautiful. I want to also thank Ashfaq, who's from our Brampton chapter. Ashfaq and the Ahmadiyya community in Brampton do wonderful work. I see the very best in the community in our city in terms of the love for the community, the fundraising they've done for the hospital. On every occasion when we're trying to bring the community together, Ashfaq and his team are there with the beautiful signs, love for all, hatred for none, and the Ahmadiyya community's presence in our city is beautiful and appreciated. And I just want to thank the Ahmadiyya community in Brampton, how proud we are of you. And it's why we this year unanimously in our city council named a park Ahmadiyya Park. I love being the mayor of Brampton. It's a real privilege, but one of the reasons I'm running for the Conservative leadership is because I believe in our country we need more to challenge Islamophobia in our country. There should never be any barriers for faith in our country. Whatever your faith is, you deserve the right to succeed based on talent and determination. And what we're seeing in Canada today, there are shortcomings. I look in Quebec right now, where if you wear a hijab, a turban, a kippah, a cross, you can lose your job. A Canadian is a Canadian is a Canadian. We should not accept second-class citizenship in our country. That's not who we are as Canadians. Those are the type of issues that I intend on championing. I should also note that we need a right-wing leader in this country who has the courage to confront Islamophobia on the right as well. I was proud in 2017 to be the only conservative leader in our country that supported the motion condemning Islamophobia, because hate is hate is hate, and there is no room, there should be no oxygen in any political party for intolerance or hate. And sadly, there are examples of others who refuse to stand up and condemn hate. And those are the same individuals that I am challenging in this leadership, because I know we can do better as Canadians. I want to get to a day where there is no partisan divide when it comes to condemning Islamophobia in this country, without question, full stop. I should also note, I believe we can do a lot more together championing religious freedom, not just in Canada, where obviously we've got some work to do in Quebec, but I'd also say abroad. I believe Canada should always be a voice for religious freedom anywhere in the world. And I have to commend Humanity First for the beautiful generosity of helping in Ukraine immediately. I think the crisis in Ukraine, the barbaric invasion, has showed how Canadians come together to help. And I commend the federal government for being there to help. But at the same time, I have to say, if we're truly committed to religious freedom, how about Ahmadiyas that have been abandoned in Thailand, Malaysia, Afghanistan? Shouldn't we have that same willingness to put together an expedited refugee stream to help loved ones abroad? And there's 7,000 Ahmadiyya refugees that have been abandoned, and we need to make sure we can immediately provide safe harbor in our country for them. If we're the country of religious freedom, that should not be the case. I should note we are hosting the Brampton Iftar tomorrow with Ahmadiyya community, and I'll be there. And then on Thursday, we're having the City of Brampton Iftar. And I want to thank the Ahmadiyya community for being part of my Iftar. Now, I host an Iftar in Brampton every year, and we get 1,000 people in our town square. And one of the reasons I host an Iftar for the city to see is one of the best ways to confront misinformation. And we see that in the rebel medias of the world. One of the best ways to confront misinformation and hate is education. And as someone who's been involved with the Muslim community in our country for a very long time, I know the Muslim faith is about love and helping the less fortunate. And our Iftar, which the Ahmadiyya community is involved in, is an example to showcase the beauty of the community, the generosity of the community. So I want to say it's open for everyone. If you happen to be in Brampton on the 21st, all are welcome, and we hope to champion the beauty of our city's multicultural, multi-faith mosaic. And it's going to be a beautiful night, and thank you again to Ashfaq for being one of the people that helped us put on that beautiful event. The last thing I wanted to mention is when I announced I was running for the Conservative leadership, while still sitting as mayor of Brampton, I announced that there were 3 causes very dear to my heart that I was going to donate my mayor's salary to. The Osler Foundation, which is our hospital, which we're trying to build in Brampton, a Kelsa Aid that does incredible humanitarian work, and Humanity First. And Dr. Aslam, I wanted to keep my word, so I brought my first month's salary to present to you, to Humanity First, to highlight my love for your efforts. And thank you so much for the invitation to attend this Iftar tonight.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. I'll present this to you here.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mayor Brown. Your support is always appreciated. Mayor Brown has visited our food bank on many occasions, and we're very thankful to his support to Humanity First, and thank you for your generous donation as well. I'm delighted to introduce our next guest speaker. He's a Muslim MP and current Minister of Housing, Diversity, and Inclusion, and former Minister of Immigration. He has represented Canada and Muslims with distinction. He's a regular supporter of Jama'at and Humanity First, and he has regularly visited our food bank as well. And on a Christmas day, he came out and helped out at our food bank to pack some food hampers as well. And we're very thankful to Minister for being here. I request everyone to please help me welcome Honorable Ahmed Hussain, Member of Parliament, Minister of the Housing, Diversity and Inclusion.
Thank you so much. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Ramadan Kareem. It's a pleasure to be back here with the community. It's always a pleasure to join my good friend and colleague, Francesca Sobara, and many other representatives. Every chance that I get, whether it is in the GTA or in Calgary or in the UK, I make an effort to make sure that I connect with our community of Ahmadiyya Muslims. Because for me, it's an opportunity to learn a little bit more about what you are doing through Humanity First. I mean, I was really, really impressed over the years about learning not only about what Humanity First does locally here, to, for example, help the most vulnerable members of our community who are on the street, who are experiencing homelessness, or who are at risk of experiencing homelessness. But what also that Humanity First has been able to achieve outside of Canada's borders, through services for education, refugee resettlement, healthcare, making sure that people's food security needs are taken care of. I mean, I can't think of a more amazing Canadian export than Humanity First. And for me, the motto of love for all and hatred for none is something that we can all, identify with and acknowledge to be a great Canadian value. And so I really want to thank members of the community. I want to thank the leadership. I have always felt welcome, whether it is in Calgary, whether it is in Saskatoon, or whether it's in right here in Vaughan. But, I can't emphasize the importance for all of us as leaders to support Canadians like yourselves who are really doing the right thing, but who are going above and beyond, not just in regular times, but even in difficult times when the community has to come together to respond to a tragedy, whether it's a shooting or some sort of community tragedy. You find members of the Ahmadiyya Muslim community through Humanity First coming together, reinforcing the community, re-emphasizing and restating the Canadian values of coming together and loving everyone and really being there for everyone. And I know the work that continues to need to be done. I remember working with the doctor on refugee resettlement in my previous role, and now in my role as Minister for Diversity and Inclusion, as well as Housing. Of course, there's some overlap there, but as we move forward to obviously recognize that Canada is a diverse country, but that inclusion is a choice. We need to work together constantly to make sure that you are telling us what your priorities are, so that in Ottawa, in the federal government, that we are reflecting the very best of the community. And I know Francesco will agree with me that the best way to make good government policy in Ottawa is to listen to you. So I humbly want to say to you, thank you for your friendship. Thank you for your brotherhood over the years. Thank you for your ability to show us as leaders what it is when community really steps up and does so much to help everyone else, especially the most vulnerable. So for that, I really want to say shukriya. Thank you very much. Jazakallah khair. Ramadan Mubarak.
Shukriya and Jazakallah, Honorable Hussein. Our next speaker for this evening is Member of Parliament for Vaughan Woodbridge, and he's no stranger to all of you. He has been regularly visited Humanity First and has been a regular supporter of Humanity First and a good friend of the community as well. I'd like to invite Honorable Francesco Sorbara to say a few words, please.
Good evening, everyone. Ramadan Mubarak, Assalamu alaikum. Mr. Malik, thank you for your hospitality and the community's hospitality. I will say this loudly. I'm very proud to be a friend of the Ahmadiyya community. I'm very proud to break bread this evening with everyone. And what I will say on Humanity First, thank you. Whenever there is something in need or someone in need or a country or people, you are there. Wherever in the world, you are there. And that represents the values that the community purports here in Canada, that the values of the community has of giving back, of empathy, of discipline, and helping your fellow man or woman in need. And those are the values that are not just common to the Ahmadiyya community, but I would say common worldwide. But what you folks do is you practice those values day in and day out. And that's something very special. So you're an example, and the community is an example to all Canadians what it means to be generous, what it means to be compassionate. And we need that in today's society more than ever. So for myself, as one of the members here in the city of Vaughan, and we are so blessed to have the community based here in the city of Vaughan, you enrich this community, you improve our social fabric in so many ways, not just here, but coast to coast to coast. I say thank you. You have a friend in me, you have a supporter, you have someone you can count on always, and I look forward to always visiting. I look forward to helping to host the Iftar dinner in Ottawa on April 26th, break a fast, and working with Fahim, and I'll be sponsoring that event as the Member of Parliament and chair of the Ahmadiyya Friendship Group. I do know Anna Roberts is here, and she's one of the co-chairs of the Ahmadiyya Friendship Group in Ottawa. I just want to say thank you. Dr. Dowd, Humanity First, I'm going to be very subtle on this. You rock. You are a rock, and you rock in terms of everything you do to help the world become a better and more inclusive place, and we so need that right now. What you're doing in Ukraine, how you responded so quickly, not many organizations have been able to do that. Not many organizations are that nimble to do that. Congratulations, and I look forward to sitting down in the coming days and talking further. Everyone, have a wonderful Ramadan. As a Catholic, we talk about our sins, and I will end it on this. When you fast, and what I've been reading about Islam and the Muslim religion, Islam and the Muslim religion, is when you fast, you talk about impurities, and the impurities in your soul and in your body. Well, tomorrow, as I celebrate Easter and we celebrate the rebirth of Jesus Christ, we talk about our sins and letting go and moving forward with positivity. And I want to wish the entire community for not just the next 20-odd days of Ramadan, but throughout the year, that we always purport and bring forth the values that we practice during the month of Ramadan, but the values that we all share as Canadians and people that live in the most blessed country in the world. Thank you very much, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Francesco Sorbara. Our next speaker for this evening, I would like to invite, she's the Member of Parliament for King Vaughan. She's not only a good supporter for Humanity First, but many of you may not know, she was a regular volunteer at our food bank as well. So I would like to invite Honorable Anna Roberts to come to the stage to say a few words, please.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for a lovely reception. I want to share a little story with you. I was introduced to Dr. Dowd and Humanity First with Minister Lecce, who could not be here this evening due to a very ill grandmother, so he sends his regards. And I remember going over and helping and seeing how dedicated the volunteers were, working hard diligently to ensure that everyone receives food. So on behalf of that, it gave me the encouragement to continue to assist. The work that you do helps many, many people. We need more people like you, because in this world, a little generosity goes a long, long way. So as you celebrate, please understand that we, as all humans do, appreciate your heart and dedication. So thank you so much for having me here this evening. It's been a wonderful pleasure, and I hope to continue to work with you and develop more into the future. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Anna, for your kind words. As Anna just mentioned, that the Honorable Minister of Education for Ontario was not able to join us this evening. However, he did send us a recorded message, and he requested us to play this to address the audience. So I'd like to ask our IT technical team to please play that video message. There's no audio?
Assalamu alaikum. It is a great honor to join you this evening as we celebrate the life-saving work of Humanity First, and as well as mark the holy month of Ramadan. I want to thank Muslims in this country and around the world and all Canadians for rallying behind the amazing work of Humanity First. I've seen firsthand the level of contribution, of compassion, of leadership that Humanity First here in Canada under the leadership of Dr. Dowd has demonstrated. And I know from building schools to hospitals to clean drinking water, in every endeavor, you are literally saving a life. And that is so important during Ramadan, a period of sacrifice, a period of giving back. So thank you for all that you do. I wish you a very positive experience together as we celebrate the great opportunity of this country, the values that we share together, and the freedoms that bring us together. So thank you for giving back to all the donors. Thank you to the Ahmadiyya Muslim community for your continuous commitment to our country, the true north, strong and free. And thank you to the volunteers of Humanity First, from Nomana at the food bank in Vaughan to Dr. Dowd running the leadership of this organization, to so many women and men who every day, particularly our young people, who are the light in the darkness. So thank you, God bless you. Have a brilliant and positive evening.
We're very thankful to the Honorable Minister of Education, Stephen Lecce. Just as a side note, the Honorable Minister regularly donates to Humanity First, and he visits our food bank on regular basis. And he's a good supporter of Humanity First. And whenever we have a project or a program, or when we launch a new project, he's always there to support us as well. So we're very thankful to the Honorable Minister. We're almost at the end of the program. The Isha prayers are 9:30. Our last item on the agenda is the vote of thanks. I'd like to invite Mr. Najib Tariq Sahib, who is the local Humanity First representative for Vaughan. I'd like to ask him to say a few words as a vote of thanks.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Peace and blessing be on you all. It is an honor for me to present the vote of thanks. All the volunteers have worked tirelessly during this blessed month while they were fasting. They have chosen volunteer work over family and worldly activities. Special thanks goes to respected Nasir Khan Saab, our National Secretary for Hospitality, and his team. Local Chapter 1 representative, Mr. Rana Inam Sahib and his team, and also local chapter Peace Village and the entire team. Also, our donors and sponsors who have made this event very successful. I would like to request everyone to pray. By grace of Allah, with everyone's effort, we have made this event successful. I would like to request again everyone during this blessed month to please pray for all the volunteers who have worked tirelessly. May Allah accept everyone's humble effort and all the volunteers who have made this event successful. Thank you.
Jazakallah, Najib Sahib. This brings us to the end of this program, and I would just have one simple request. We had this event after a long time. I think over 2 years, this has been our first in-person event. And you can tell by the number of people that are here, both on the ladies' side and the men's hall as well. So we are very grateful for your support, and we request that please keep supporting Humanity First. There's so many things that Humanity First is doing here in Canada and around the world. Please come forward, volunteer, donate, spread the word, encourage your family members, your colleagues to support this cause, to support this organization. This organization was founded by Hazrat Khalifatul Masih and is guided by Hazrat Khalifatul Masih. So please supporting this organization. Jazakumullah. Thank you so much for your support. Assalamu alaikum.